I've spent years analyzing how immigration is reshaping Canada's cities, and what I've found might surprise you. From sky-high real estate prices in Vancouver to overcrowded schools in Toronto, the impact of immigration on urban life is undeniable. But here's the truth you won't hear in the media. The very cities immigrants flock to are becoming less affordable and harder to live, and for both newcomers and longtime residents. What if I told you that the cities Canadians are flocking to are being destroyed by the very people they've welcomed with open arms? It's a controversial claim, but the numbers don't lie. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to explore the cities that have been transformed by immigration, both for better and for worse, and the truth may shock you. Vancouver, BC, is a city where mountains meet the ocean. A paradise for those seeking a fresh start. It's a dream destination for many, but a nightmare for the average person trying to get by. Immigrants from across the globe have poured into this city, bringing cultural diversity, a booming job market, and a thriving economy. But there's a dark side to this beauty. Vancouver's real estate prices have skyrocketed. Once affordable homes are now out of reach for anyone making less than 6 figures. Local residents are being pushed out as international investors snap up property, and the influx of immigrants has only made this problem worse. Vancouver's dream is now a distant reality for many. Take, for example, the story of May, a single mother from China who moved to Vancouver 10 years ago. She came here to give her son a better future, and for years, she was able to afford a small condo in the city. But in the last 5 years, prices in the area doubled, and what used to be a decent, middle-class neighborhood is now dominated by multi-million-dollar homes. I used to think this was my forever home, May says, but now I feel like I'm being pushed out. I don't want to leave, but where can I go? Everything is just too expensive. The influx of wealthy international buyers, combined with a steady flow of new immigrants, has put immense pressure on Vancouver's housing market. What's happening in Vancouver is a microcosm of a larger issue, affecting many of Canada's biggest cities. Rapid urban growth and rising demand for housing, combined with limited supply. The question is, who benefits from all this growth and who gets left behind? I spoke with a local teacher and his wife, a nurse, who explained how their combined salaries still don't make enough for them to buy a house. We love living here, but the prices are insane, they said. It feels like Vancouver has become a playground for the rich. So, while the city offers incredible opportunities for newcomers, it's becoming increasingly inaccessible for the people who've lived here their whole lives. The housing bubble in Vancouver isn't just a housing crisis. It's a reflection of how growth, while good on paper, can sometimes price out the very people it was meant to help. And then there's Toronto, Canada's largest city, the nation's economic engine, and a true melting pot. Walk down its streets and you'll hear a symphony of languages. Immigrants have helped turn Toronto into the world-class city it is today. But for every success story, there's a growing list of challenges. Housing prices are rising, rents are skyrocketing, and affordable living is becoming a distant dream for many. The city is home to some of the most expensive real estate in the country, and with every new arrival, the problem only gets worse. It's a city where competition for jobs is fierce, and while immigrants bring valuable skills, the pressure on Toronto's already strained infrastructure is evident. Overcrowded schools, delays in public transit, and a healthcare system that's stretched thin are just some of the symptoms of a city that's struggling to keep up. Take Ahmed, who moved to Toronto from Syria with his wife and 2 children just 3 years ago. He was thrilled when he landed a job in tech, but he quickly realized that the cost of living was far higher than he had imagined. Rent here is outrageous, he said. We're paying almost half our monthly salary just for a small apartment. I work hard, but it feels like we're just surviving, not thriving. For Ahmed and his family, Toronto's promise of opportunity is being overshadowed by the high cost of living and the fierce competition in the job market. The opportunities are there, but they're harder to access when so many people are fighting for the same slice of the pie. I met a restaurant owner who moved to Toronto years ago in hopes of building a better life for his family. He's grateful for the opportunities, but he's also worried. I started my business with the dream of making it big, he said, but now, with rising rents and the pressure of an oversaturated market, I'm wondering how long I can keep up. For him, Toronto's diversity is both a blessing and a curse. It brings customers and workers, but it also brings competition, rising costs, And to many people fighting for too few resources, I've long been a hub for immigrants seeking work in the public sector, technology, or academia. But even in this government-heavy city, the pressures of growth are mounting. Housing prices are rising, and while the job market is strong, the competition for positions is fierce. Newcomers often struggle with affordability and accessibility. Ottawa's infrastructure is starting to show signs of strain, and while it remains a hub of opportunity, it's becoming harder for many to settle into the life they envisioned when they arrived. I spoke with a local software engineer who moved to Ottawa in search of a tech job with the federal government. While he landed the job, he's finding that the high cost of living and lack of affordable housing is starting to eat into his salary. It's a great city to work in, he said, but it's becoming harder to find a place to live that doesn't feel like I'm throwing my paycheck away every month. For him, the opportunity is clear. But the cost of living is quickly outweighing the benefits of living in Canada's capital. Across the country, Canadian cities are grappling with the same reality. Immigration brings incredible diversity and economic growth, but it also creates challenges that many cities are struggling to manage. From Vancouver's housing crisis to Toronto's overcrowded schools, these cities are being transformed and not always in ways that benefit the people who live there. But there's hope. Immigrants are resilient. They bring fresh ideas, new perspectives, and hard work to every city they settle in. The key to success lies in finding ways to adapt and evolve with the changing times. So, what's the solution? It's clear that cities must adapt. We need smarter urban planning, better integration programs for immigrants, and a more sustainable approach to housing and job creation. But most importantly, we need to remember that immigration isn't just a challenge, it's a chance to build stronger, more dynamic cities. The question is, are we ready to meet that challenge head-on? Do you agree or disagree with what you've seen? What changes do you think need to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you're passionate about the future of our cities, hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends. Let's get the conversation started.